Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. Happy start of a brand new week. This morning, we're talking about visualization, one of my favorite topics. I'm really excited to dive into this with all of you because trust me, I have spent so much time trial and erroring this, doing a ton of research. I even created an entire method. The visualization method. Hang on a quick second. Let me just get things out of the way over here. I don't know what's going on. All right, there we go. All right, so make sure you have pen and paper because you're going to want to take notes. I know that there's so many of you like me. Visualization is like part of your spiritual practice. And I want to share three things that I see, three mistakes that I see people making when you have those things where you have those moments where you're like, I'm doing all the visualization. I visualize every day, every morning, 2 times a day, when I wake up, when I go to bed, and I'm not manifesting. I want to talk about three very common mistakes that I see with visualization. And then I'm going to share with you what actually works. And I, again, created the vision alignment method because I'm just one of those people. I'm an only child. I grew up, honestly, fantasizing was my bread and butter for entertainment. It was just a thing that I did. And maybe it was a blessing for me because I would say I've spent my entire life mastering how to visualize and how to get it to work for me. I love teaching this. I want to make sure you get the nuances make all the difference. You know, the money is in the details. The manifesting is in the details. So I want to make sure that you know how to do this. Like if you're going to take the time to visualize that, you know, you're doing it right and you're doing it so that you're getting the results that you want. All right. So the top three mistakes, get ready. So number one, if you are not writing out a scene, if you are just sitting there closing your eyes and daydreaming, that is not the spiritual practice of visualizing. You really are just daydreaming, you're fantasizing, you're wishing. So if you do not have it written out first, and you might call this intentions, you might call it a prayer, but if you don't write out the thing, the outcome that you want first before you visualize, that's mistake number one. Mistake number two is going into your visualizing with the mentality of, oh, this is something I wish I could have. I am wishing I could have this thing. Mistake number two, if you are approaching your visualization from the mindset of, I don't have it and I wish I could get this thing, I wish I could get this marriage or this guy or this business success or this new body, and you are visualizing, but you have to take a step back and be like, but wait a minute, but is it something I'm wishing for? I'm very aware I don't have it and I'm wishing I did. I'm wishing I had it. Mistake number three is when I see people visualizing and I'll say, tell me what you're visualizing. And it's like an entire storybook. It is too much details, or sometimes it's the wrong detail. You're visualizing, visualization works, but if you're visualizing the wrong thing, then you're not manifesting the thing you actually want, because what you're closing your eyes and seeing in your vision is not the true outcome. And this is where I see a lot of people, they'll want something. So you'll want to get married, but you visualize dating. You want to have $1 million, but you visualize, I don't know, launching your product, right? So you're not visualizing the right thing. So mistake number one, not writing it out first. Mistake number two, going into visualizing with the mentality of, this is something I'm wishing I had. And mistake number three, you're visualizing too much. It's like, if you can't sit down and in 1 minute see this scene 4 or 5 times, then it's too much, right? So think about another good example of if you're visualizing. So you're visualizing that you're celebrating something and it's a cookout and you're seeing the lobster on the grill and the steak, and you're seeing the 10,000 people that came to this barbecue and what they're all wearing. Way too much detail. That's the kind of thing that's going to slow down your manifesting. All right. So that's number one. I'm sorry. That's the first part of what I want to share this morning, are the ways that you make mistakes when you're visualizing. Now, what works though? So I'm going to break down what works into 3 categories: who, what, and how. Who, what, and how. This is the way that when you visualize like this, take it to the bank, it is done. So number 1, who. When you go into visualizing, who are you being? When you close your eyes and you are using this powerful spiritual practice, because for me, visualization is literally my guaranteed manifestation. Napoleon Hill said, if you can see it and believe it, you must, not maybe, not kind of, not sometimes. I love guarantees like this. I love absolute statements like this. If you can see it and believe it, you must achieve it. For me, that's like, all right, here we go. I need to see it and I need to believe it. So when I close my eyes and I'm going into seeing and believing, if I am going into that visualization as the current Tasha who does not have the thing that I want, then it's not easy for me to believe it. Honestly, it's going to be hard, right? Because the current me, this is where you go into your visualization and you're using this powerful practice as a wish. You're sitting there and you're wishing and you're daydreaming. Visualization is meant for you to be the person who already has the thing. So you're going into your visualization not as the woman who wants it, but as the woman who has it. That is a massive distinction. Anybody here can just tell me, like, Tasha, I've been doing it all wrong. I did it like that for a long time. I would close my eyes and I would sit there. I would love me some daydreaming / visualizing, but I was always in the beingness of, I'm going to close my eyes and imagine that someday over the rainbow, this is me with this thing that I want. It's totally different when you close your eyes and you are the person who already has the thing, not the woman who wants it, but the woman who already has it. And that distinction is everything. It's everything, because now you're closing your eyes. You're not trying to figure out how it came. You're not all in the details. You're just literally closing your eyes and remembering, oh yeah, this is me. I already got it. I already got the thing. So I'm going to give you a perfect example. There was a time in my life where I visualized for months. I was committed to my visualization practice because the thing that I wanted was to be married. I had been single and dating and traumatized and in a bazillion situationships for back-to-back years. My poor little heart was just like, Tasha, please just get it right. And so it's like, all right, I'm going to take some time. I'm not going to date, and I'm going to just be committed to visualizing. So I visualized this scene. I mean, I would cry. I remember we had a retreat one time for the women in one of my programs, and we were at this house in Jensen on the beach, and we all laid around in a circle. And that's even more powerful. Like when we do it together, that scene, I cried like a baby because it was so real for me. And I'll never forget, that was like October, November, that moment, that particular day with the women at this beach house. So I remember that timeline because I had been doing it for months leading up to that October, and then I continued doing it. Fast forward, I put myself on a dating site in December. Right? And that's another thing I'm going to talk about. So I put myself on a dating site. I immediately get all these amazing men, and I end up on a date. And I'm on this date at this place on the marina, a beautiful little boutique coffee shop on the marina. The guy walks in and I go, oh my God, this is my visualization. This is exactly to the T, exactly. No clouds in the sky, like a soft, gentle breeze, you name it, everything I visualized. And here comes the guy, except that's not what I really wanted. I did not want to be manifesting going on a date with a guy. I wanted to manifest being married. So you see, I was visualizing the wrong thing. I was visualizing the woman who wished she could get married versus visualizing I am the woman sitting here at this marina with my husband. Totally different. So I'm hoping that you guys like instinctively, just with that example now, apply that to something in your business. And or anything that's financial, a financial outcome that you want, are you visualizing after you have the money, or are you visualizing the process that gets you to having it? Who are you being in your visualization? The woman who's working towards it, or the woman who already has it? So that's number one, who. Number two, the what. What should you do before and after your visualization practice? So if all you do, and again, this is why sometimes people say it doesn't work. I told you mistake number one was not writing out a scene before you go into visualization. So here is a, what should I be doing before? You have to write it out. And when I say write it out, take my word for it. I spent years writing pages and pages and pages before I go into a visualization. And that's where I was going wrong. What I realized is it needed to be so simple and so crystal clear that it literally could be done in a few sentences. If I'm about to visualize something and I'm writing an entire page, I'm way off track. And I'm going to tell you why that matters. But you need to write it out, because think about this. If you are the director of a movie and you are not trying, when you visualize, to visualize the entire movie, you're trying to visualize a scene. You know how long a scene is in a movie? Literally, where the moment is truly a moment. It's not 5 minutes. 5 minutes is probably 10 scenes. Think about watching a movie. So when you are visualizing, you are putting yourself in the role of, I am director, I'm producing a movie, and I'm producing actually just a scene, just a moment in this movie. Again, I'm going to use relationship examples because it's just easier. You can't create a movie without a script. You can't create a movie without a script. A director can't say, okay, actors and actresses, stand around and yeah, action. Like, action what? What are we supposed to do? Same thing with visualizing. Like, this is an absolute, you are directing the movie of your life. You are directing this moment. That means you have everything you desire. You don't want to get this wrong. You don't want to be off on this. So you need to be clear. Writing it out helps you get clarity so that you're not all over the place in your visualization. You're keeping it very simple to a moment. And Scripture tells us, write the vision, make it plain. You don't need any more instructions than that. Write the vision, make it plain, make it simple, make it very clear what it is that this outcome is that you want. You also, when you're writing your intentions, when you're writing your visualization, you want to write about after the result has happened. You don't want to write about how it happened. You want to remember, if you're writing out a scene about how something happened, you are being the woman who wants the thing. Versus if you're writing out the visualization, you're writing out the scene as I already have it. Now you're writing from I am the woman who has it. So you want to write your scene, and that moment that you describe in your description, it's after the thing you want has happened. The last thing I'm going to say about what should you write. This is where I see a lot of women, you don't go all in for what you truly want. It's like me writing out, going on dates with amazing guys, the top 1%. They're beautiful. They're this, they're that, they're the whole 9 yards. Who cares? That's not what I want. I don't want to be dating. I want to be married, for God's sakes, right? I don't want to have an event with 500 people. Who cares? Like, yeah, if 555, it doesn't matter. What I really want is that at the end of it, my program is full with the most beautiful women and I have the financial results that I desire. That's it. That's what I really want. So what I see is women not being willing to like ask for what you want. Just truly ask yourself, when you write this visualization, is this what I really want? Have I really gotten what I really want? So that is the before. What to do after you visualized. Ladies, you have to take action. If you are visualizing and not taking action, and then you're going to say it's not working, let me help you. That's the very first clue any coach, any mentor is going to tell you. Oh, you just thought you were going to close your eyes and daydream and then it was going to happen? Like, no, not even Amazon works like that. If you sit and you order, you have to get up and open the door and get the package. There has to be some action. And the science of getting rich says the only way you're going to receive your visualization is through action. Remember my story with the dating I told you? So I visualized for months and months, and then there came a point I put myself on a dating app. That was the only way I was going to meet a guy. I stay at home all day long. Like, ain't no guys coming around here that are date worthy for me. So I was not going to meet my husband because he was going to be the Amazon delivery guy and we're going to strike up a conversation, right? I mean, how many times is that guy going to be the one that delivers every week? There is just no way. So I had to take some action to receive. Same thing in business. I could visualize all day long, but if I don't become visible, if I don't let you know I have a program that can solve the pain that you're in, if I don't write the emails, if I don't do the events, I can visualize all day long, but it's not going to happen without some action. So 99% of when people tell me visualization doesn't work, the problem is no action. So let me just help you right there. Mistake number 4. Are you taking an action that matches what you're visualizing? Do your actions match your visualization, or are you just spending a ton of time visualizing but not taking action? Because it's not going to work. Another thing I see people, I'm visualizing a 7-figure business, but they don't have an LLC. They don't have a business in place. They don't have a business bank account. They offer free and very low price products and services. No revenue producing activities, just, like very busy doing a lot of things, but nothing that is actually going to allow them to receive this 7 figures. So you can visualize all day long, but if your actions do not match what you're visualizing, then there's no way you're going to receive. Visualizing is just the scene that says, it's kind of like when the director writes the scene, but if nobody actually acts it out, we can't watch the movie, right? Hopefully that makes sense. So that's number 2, what to do before and after. You have to write it out, and then you have to be taking actions, and not just any old actions, but actions that match what you want. For example, back to dating. If I want to be married and I am taking actions where I'm constantly dating unavailable men, I'm not real serious about being married, right? Or putting myself in situationships, or just being like, oh yeah, we're just seeing each other for 4 years. I'm not really serious about manifesting that desire. I have to be taking actions that align to the thing that I want. Okay, as you can tell, I love this. I could talk for days. And I really want you to see where you might be going wrong. Okay, so you can do it right. Your actions have to match the outcome. So that's a question you have to ask yourself. Am I really acting in alignment with my vision, or am I just busy doing a whole bunch of stuff that's not going to get me there? Number 3, how do you visualize? Again, this is where I see people, they will sit there for 15 minutes. Truly, you need 20 seconds to visualize. If you have 20 seconds in the shower and you do it every single day, you've done some powerful visualizing. This was the thing that I realized was making me stay way too long waiting for things to manifest. I was visualizing, I would sit there for 15 minutes and I would look at the curtain in the room. I would look at the flower placement. I would visualize events, right? I wanted successful events, and I would visualize, 200 chairs, every single table, the stage, the whole, like all this crazy detail that did not matter, because I was visualizing in that moment the woman who wanted the room full. Versus, let me give you another distinction here. So when I visualized, I was hosting an event, nobody had purchased. It was, well, not enough, not 200 people. I think I had 40 people purchased. I needed 200 people in the room. 14 days to go. I visualized for 14 days, me standing in my money dress, taking a selfie with the room full. That was it. That was a visualization for 14 days. And sure enough, come 14 days later, the room was full. Right? Because now in that visualization, so how many times can I visualize that? If I close my eyes, I have my camera, I'm taking a selfie, I see the room full behind me, literally in 1 minute, I could repeat that scene 4 or 5 times. That's what you want. You just want a moment. just a moment. And this moment means everything that you truly want, whatever that thing is that you truly want, it has manifested. Let's talk about relationships. I stopped visualizing dating. I didn't even visualize my marriage, my wedding. I visualized my 1 year anniversary because my 1 year anniversary means that's what I want. I am a married woman, right? So, because if you visualize a wedding, you could end up at somebody else's wedding watching them get married. I wanted to make sure we have the rings, we are married, we're celebrating our 1 year anniversary. You always want to be visualizing after the thing has happened. And it has to be a very simple moment. So simple that you can repeat this scene in your mind 5 times in a minute. And so if all you have is a minute every day to visualize, you could get this done repeatedly. Last thing, I want to give you a real example. So I had an event. I had not ever done an event without a sales team, ever, in all the years of my business. This was going to be my first time. There's a whole bunch of things that, had just happened that it was like starting over for me. And so I was like, okay, how am I going to do this? I don't have the time to build myself up and get me motivated and inspired. Like, I just don't have the time for it. I know what works. I'm just going to visualize. So I visualized. I did the 3 things I told you. I sat, I wrote a scene. My scene that I wrote was literally, I'm driving home on the turnpike. I literally knew the spot on the turnpike that I would be. I would be making a call to one of my friends. She would be on speakerphone as I drive past this spot. And all I'm saying is, oh my God, we did $600,000. And she is screaming like, get out. 600,000? Yep, 600,000. That was the scene. I wrote that exact thing. I wrote the script. I said, she said, I said. That was the scene. For the weeks leading up to the event, I would close my eyes and I would just imagine that scene over and over. I would feel it. We would be laughing. I would be closing my eyes, cracking up laughing, like screaming with my friend as if it like literally had happened. And sure enough, the event came around. We did 600,000. When I had the call with her, actually, I totally forgot about that whole visualization after the event. And just by chance, she called me. I was at my husband's house. That's a whole other story. Before we had a house together, we maintained 2 different homes, but I was at his house. She called me and we never even spoke about the results of the event. I never even told her the number. We just had a conversation. After I hung up the phone, I was like, oh, wow, like that totally manifested without us even talking about the number. But it wasn't what I was visualizing was not me and her talking post-event. What I was visualizing was that I got the result I wanted financially, right? So hopefully you all got that. I'm just going to give you a quick recap. Number 1, who, what. So the 3 things are who, what, and how. Who am I being when I visualize? Am I being the woman who wants it, or am I being the woman who has it? Totally different distinction. Number 2, what am I doing? Am I writing it out first? And then after I visualize, am I taking action? And number 3, how am I visualizing? Am I visualizing a whole bunch of details with all these things that need to happen versus just a moment in time that means this thing I want, I have it. I already have it. Okay? Okay. Cindy's like, I love it. Yay! I love talking about this. So where do we go from here? Do you want to get some support with mastery of this? I'm telling you, I would rather visualize than work, period. Now, I know I have to take action. I know. But what is the lever that makes my action be guaranteed to give me the results and also make me not have to work as hard? Because the thing that's doing the lifting, Napoleon Hill said, if you can see it and believe it, you must achieve it. My effort, my work is not actually the thing that's bringing me the results. It's my visualizing. My action is just kind of like I see action as 10%. It's the must do. The 10% that actually allows me to receive what I visualize. I must go on the dating site. I must go on dates. I must have a product to offer. I must have a business in place. I must have a bank account to get these 7 figures I'm visualizing. These are just the basics. I have to do something, right? So I just see that as 10%. 90% of how I get a result is how I visualize. That's what I want you to hear. So if you're going to use this superpower, you want to be doing it right. Do you want some support with that? September 5th, this is my birthday gift to you. 88 minutes on September 5th for you to come sit with me in ceremony, and we're going to tap into visualizing and choosing the wealthy you. The woman who doesn't want it, she already has it. September 5th. I know that lots of you have been saying this, type reminder, make sure you're on the list, type reminder. But this morning, especially those of you on YouTube, I need you to do me a huge favor. Those of you on YouTube, it doesn't matter if you already typed reminder and you're on the list for the reminders. Can you type the exclamation sign and the word reminder? We're trying to do something on YouTube to see if we have a bot that can get you the reminders, get you on the list. So can you type exclamation reminder? Everybody watching on YouTube, please, please, please do that for me. And then let's make sure this works. Check your messages and see. And if you're watching on Facebook or Instagram, only simply type reminder. Just type the simple word reminder, no exclamation in front. If you're on Facebook or Instagram, just type the word reminder, check your DMs so you can get on the list for September 5th. Free ceremony, The Wealthy Me, 88 minutes from 12 to 1:28. So make sure you mark your calendar to have that time for you to choose this version of you. Before you go, I want to tell you really quick, because I think it's important for you to understand the neuroscience, like what's actually happening in your brain. For those of you that think, oh, this is just woo-woo, it's spiritual. No, this is actually your brain does things that causes visualization to work. And when you understand that, then you understand why you have to do it right. So when you visualize, there's a part of your brain called the visual cortex, and it lights up. It actually processes images. This is why you want to write it. That's great, but you want to see your visualization in images, right? So the visual cortex lights up. Then there's another part of the brain called the basal ganglia. And hopefully I'm pronouncing all of this right. This turns the images that you see when you visualize into habits. So many of you are like, oh, I procrastinate, I don't do all this. I'm saying then you're not visualizing right, because your brain is literally going to make you do things, take actions habitually. If you are then not taking the action, like your brain, it's kind of like, I want to lose weight. My brain literally supports me in saying, okay, go to the gym. But if I then it's raining, I don't want to go to the gym. I literally just defeated the purpose. My brain did the work for me, and then I stopped it, right? So your brain will actually, first you see the image, then your brain starts to help you to create habitual actions to get the results. Then your reticular activating system kicks in, and it starts scanning your life. It looks around your whole life, and it goes, oh, here are some opportunities. Here are some connections. Here is an idea I can put in front of her so that she gets the results she wants. Again, this is like me. I want to do something in my business. Every single time I start visualizing a business outcome, here comes something on Facebook. Here comes something in an email. Here comes something with somebody just saying something in a conversation. That is my reticular activating system scanning my environment and going, let me give Tasha all the things. Let me put it in front of her so she can see all the ways that I am supporting her to take the action so this visualization becomes a reality. That's what's going on in your brain. It is literally doing the work for you. So if you know that's true, you don't want to put the wrong film in your brain. You don't want to be putting in your brain dating guys when you want to be married. You don't want to be putting in your brain oh, I'm, filling the room with 200 people, when what you really want is that the event is over, 200 people were there. Sometimes it's not even that you want 200 people. It's that you want the event to be successful. You want your program to have 20 people when the event is done, and you want to make X hundred thousands of dollars. That's what you really want. But you're visualizing filling the room. Who cares? That, the universe could decide you only need one person to get you to the $200,000 you want to make. So don't be caught up in the details. Your brain is going to filter all of that out and make it happen for you. Okay, I'm done. That's it. Make sure you type a reminder. Make sure you have September 5th marked on your calendar. I cannot wait when I tell you it's my birthday gift to you. Truly, it's my birthday gift to me too, because I love this, but really, it's for all of you, because we are stepping into wealthy me. Mwah. Have a great morning. Have a great rest of the week. Bye.